Today on EPL, we will be talking dating, waiting, breaking up, making up, and the things your mama taught you.
You are tuned in to Black Hollywood Live this week.
See, God don't like ugly. That's why we don't have no theme music.
Yeah.
Oh, there it goes. Pop it. Pop it.
Have you heard this?
I have not, but the beat. Hey. Hey.
And who is it?
We got a little bounce to it.
There you go.
Y'all in the nasty freaking section.
This is going on my mind.
We in the same.
I'm a little neutral.
We the pray.
Daryl
pray
picked
and
the
live.
song.
We the pray section.
I'm the live section.
We live.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Clearly. I've been known to live a little bit too, though.
Hey, yeah, we can pray and live. And we for sure eat. We love to eat now. Are we?
We
Are we good? We good.
Yes.
Welcome you guys to Eat, Pray, and Live. Oh my God, I'm so excited about today's show. And we have two very, very, very special guests with us.
Guest hosts.
Exactly, guest hosts. Without further ado, I'm going to introduce the panel to you. Our beloved Stacy is hanging out with Robin
She with the
Gibbons
Canadians.
in Canada.
Doing her thing.
She's doing her thing. So we wish her a lot of love and peace and happiness and all that good stuff. And to my immediate left, I have a longtime friend of mine, Mrs. Robin Ayers, who is, let me give you some background on this fabulous lady. She is a newly published author. Congratulations.
Thank you,
That
Sheree.
is
Thank you.
so awesome and amazing. And she is an entertainment correspondent, speaker. She is a wife of 12 years. She's a mother of two beautiful 10-year-old twin girls. So she's going to be our marriage expert today.
Okay.
Yes,
I like that title.
Yes, girl. You know how to do it. You know how to do it. And then next to her, we have Miss Raylyn Taylor. And Raylyn is family. She's from AfterBuzz's Next.
Yeah, BHL.
Black
BHL
Hollywood
next.
Lives next.
We gonna steal her. That's all we're gonna say. I'm just gonna put that out there in the universe. And then we have my male me with his little Chanel sweatshirt on.
Carl.
Demetrius Jones at the house.
Thank you very much. Hello, America.
America! Canada! What
Energetic
Canada's
today.
watching?
It's Fendi, not Chanel.
Correction.
She just saw
I
the
knew it was
Carl.
Fendi, but that is Karl Lagerfeld of
on the
Chanel.
front.
How
Yes.
did that happen? How was
How does he
Fendi
love
able
He's
to
the
use
creative
Karl?
director of Fendi as well as
Well,
the
there
Karl
it
Lagerfeld
is.
line.
Well, that explains
wow.
it.
There you go.
And then last but never least is my militant me, Miss Courtney Stewart in the house.
Hi.
Hey, girl.
What up?
So how is everybody? How you guys living?
Amazing. Wonderful.
Fabulous.
Yeah, glad to be here.
You know how we so good to have you now.
Okay, well,
We get it popping.
you know, instantly. That's what we like. That's what we've been waiting for.
Surprise.
It's a party.
Okay.
Apparently, that's excited too.
We gonna baptize Demetrius.
And you throwing liquor on me to baptize me. Like there's something wrong with me.
We love you, Demetrius. We love you. All right,
you.
so let's get right into our show. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on in the world. And we're going to talk about, go ahead, Demetrius, segue us in, because this was your story with Scottie Pippen and his wife, Larsa. They have, I
Yeah.
guess, made up.
Yeah, I like love, and it appeared that Scottie Pippen and his wife Larsa were going to divorce. There were accusations flung back and forth between, I don't know which cameraman, I'm gonna just stick with this one, between Scottie and Larsa in regards to infidelity. Future made an appearance on a few vlogs hanging out with Larsa, but you know,
I remember that.
a few
Quite a
days
few.
ago, TMZ reported that Larsa, Scottie Pippen, was seen in public and she was sporting a new piece of jewelry similar
So
to
he put
Robert's.
another, he put another ring on it.
Another ring.
Yeah, so
Yes.
you know.
A big old ring.
See, it's
too.
hard to walk away from a 14-karat diamond. I'm just
Okay,
saying.
yes, that too.
14 carats. It's hard to walk away from.
Because I look at you because I need some
I mean,
some backup
I
on
know.
that.
I mean, if it works for her, I think it's great.
Okay, so let me ask you, what are you thinking? Do you think that they shouldn't have gotten back together?
Didn't he beat her up? Like, when there like
Right, there's
accusations?
domestic violence.
Like,
Yeah,
Well, she
accusations.
called 911,
there were
but we don't.
accusations and rumors.
Okay, but do we think or do we know that he put hands on her, or do we think that
We
it was
don't know
just
that.
right?
We
So it
definitely
could have
don't
been
know.
just like she was riled up. It got kind of rowdy at
Gotta
the
get
house.
rowdy.
I think it probably got kind of rowdy at the house.
Maybe.
And that was the makeup gift.
I
was
think it
that
says a lot about
14,
Scottie
yeah.
Pippen as a guy and his fortitude, because a lot of times guys won't take women back if y'all go out and we suspect that you were messing around with another guy.
Yeah.
That's how
Especially if you
guys are.
I mean, if we have like a separation and then I see you're hanging out with Future, I'm going to assume that he.
But
hit
wasn't
it.
a point that they
So-
weren't really separated, and that's why it was an issue?
I think so. I think that was it.
I don't know.
we have some
I just think it says a lot about him, but at the same time, with Kanye being with Kim, she's on this porn tape. I was like, it's all kind of changed a little bit.
It's a different. It's
The
a
game has
different
changed,
era.
yes.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's a completely different era. And maybe what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I feel like guys want you once they see you with somebody else.
That
That's
can
like-
happen sometimes. True.
See, and that's
Like
that
now you see
brings
me in
up
the future, now you want to say, hey,
that brings up an interesting point.
Now you're interested again.
I have been guilty of this very thing myself. I don't really want you, but I kind of don't want nobody else to have you.
Yes. Or sometimes you're looking at him and the very fact that someone wants him, it makes you relook at the good qualities about him in the first place.
I mean,
No,
no, I
that's
don't know.
that. You don't want nobody else to have.
Is that what that
yes,
is?
Yes,
See, you gotta
yes.
understand your friend's ego. She don't want you to be happy with nobody else.
Very true.
Now no. Yeah, right.
I'm like,
Adrian,
See this right here? This
can't
is
have
going
enough.
around you.
are you happy? I'm not happy yet. Like, I'm not happy yet.
See, that's what I'm saying. Until
know?
I'm happy, I say I don't wish you well. I wish you okay.
Oh, that's one I,
I wish
haven't
you
heard.
okay.
Interesting.
Not well. I'm not. Yeah.
I wish
yeah.
you okay.
Yeah,
I wish you okay. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard, especially when you have so much history with somebody.
Yes.
I'm glad that they're, trying to put their thing back together. They have children involved, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I hope it works out.
Would you do
I
it?
do.
Would you take somebody back?
For with a 14-karat ring, that's gonna buy you a couple more months. I'm gonna
Couple more months.
I'm gonna reconsider that, because you know what? I bet you that was a very romantic gesture. And she probably fell in love all over again. But that stuff can be very, very temporary. Okay, let me just say this. It depends on why we were breaking up in the first place.
Right.
That's
Because if you put your hands on me, you could give me a 24,
Exactly. Yeah.
carat diamond ring, and it wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
'Cause
So
I have to-
my thing
yeah.
is, it's probably they were leading up to it in the first place. They were leading up to the ring. I don't think it was just like all this turmoil and then I give you a ring and then she's back on board. I think it was like, yeah, some romance. You think it was just the ring and she said okay.
She said, all right, fine.
I think that's what guys do. He clearly did something wrong. Clearly.
Or she did. We don't know.
I think they both did.
Well, she's not going to get a 14-karat ring, a diamond ring from him if she did something
Oh
wrong.
yeah. That the way it happens.
That's a
is like-
makeup gift.
No. Sometimes you can get so upset at someone because they've done something, but you take it too far. You can get upset. You can't get too upset where you push them away, and then you gotta go chasing after them, because then the leverage
Yeah.
gets reversed.
I agree.
I get that, but I'm not giving that level of gift.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. That level of gift to me is an admission of guilt.
Well, admission of maybe I slapped you and that wasn't cool.
Could be.
I've never,
I don't know.
I've never taken an ex back. Like, I've never gone back to somebody I dated before.
Me either.
It's like a scorched earth policy with me. It's like,
I've tried. It don't work.
It don't work.
You walk away for a reason.
work.
So
It
yeah.
don't work.
Yeah.
It don't work.
It's not
I've
worked.
gone back.
you seem like you would.
Did it work for a while?
Some people are very hard to let go of.
Yeah.
When you have a lot of history and just they're your best friend
Yeah.
or whatever, it's hard to
true.
give that up, because you're not just giving up a relationship, a love interest. You're giving up a best friend. So
Yeah.
it's it can be hard, but it usually doesn't work.
Right.
Because like Robin said,
I agree.
there's a reason why you guys split in the first place.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
And timing is everything. So maybe you need a little bit of time, and you grow, he grows, and then maybe I don't know. Shoot, I don't take marriage advice from me, damn it.
See, now bringing up that topic that you said we weren't going to talk about. Now it's out there.
Oh,
Can I not take marriage advice from you because you've been divorced?
I think it makes me an expert, actually. Because I've been through it a couple of times. So, and Bishop Jake says something that I love, and I've heard a lot of other people say it, but it just really rings in my head about him saying it. He said, anybody who hasn't been through anything can't tell me nothing.
oh.
And that's real. I think when you go through things, it puts you in a position to have the information, to have the wisdom. There's always opportunity to grow and to change, to evolve. Now, whether or not you take the opportunity. So that brings us to our video.
What's the
Wait a second.
You showing that video?
Wait, before you play the video, I just want everybody to know, this is a part 2 from the show last week, The Waiting Game. And we're talking about, Steve Harvey wrote a book called, Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man. And he advises... No, I don't know anybody who's ever read it.
I don't know anybody
I watched
who
the
read
movie,
it.
so I felt like I got the good gist.
No people have seen the movie.
I got the footnote.
Yeah.
I got the little footnote. And there was I thought some really good, solid advice in it.
Reading is fundamental. I've read the book.
You
have?
Oh,
Wow. What you think?
I thought it was a good book, but I don't want to steal thunder from this clip in our discussion, so we can talk about that.
So let's set this up. This is a part 2 show, and we're talking about dating and waiting and how long should you wait. And we brought up Steve Harvey last week about his book, and it's a best-selling book. A lot of people love the book. I've taken excerpts out of it. I think it's got some very, very wise and good perspective and points. But Stacy brought something up that I didn't even know. There's apparently a beef between him and Tony Rock. So I'm thinking, okay, Steve Harvey, he's saying 90 days, he's an expert on this thing, and some people are disqualifying him. Let's play the clip.
Pick Steve Harvey as the representative for all things black. Steve Harvey, let's keep this shit funky. Steve Harvey is on his 3rd marriage. His 3rd wife was mistress to his 2nd wife. Yet, black people have anointed this motherfucker the oracle when it comes to black dating. This nigga wrote a book on dating. You on your 3rd wife, homie. With all respect, why can't we pick a nigga that know what he's talking about? Not D.L. Hughley, married for 25 years, same woman. Steve Harvey. And now he met with Trump. Who give a fuck?
That's it.
Going on Fancy Feud?
That's enough.
Wow. Okay.
All right,
He kept it funky, all right. He went in.
Yeah, he did. Wow.
Is that a fact about has that been confirmed? I'm sure they deny that. Marjorie?
She's the mistress?
Oh,
yeah,
right.
she was the mistress?
I don't know if that's been confirmed, but definitely rumored.
Yeah, the
I've heard it a lot.
allegation is a fact, but it's not a fact that she was.
Well, they had, remember those texts that they had that Steve Harvey apparently sent her that were very, very funky. And juicy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, juicy.
There's strong evidence pointing in the direction that she was the mistress.
Yes. Yeah, so what do y'all what do y'all think about what Tony is saying? Does he ever
What you think, Raven?
I don't know what it is about black people and Steve Harvey. Like, you either like him or you hate him. But, I mean, I don't know. I feel like, honestly, I really didn't know that Steve Harvey would come out with I didn't even know he had info on relationship advice. I can't really see him as that type of person. Especially for black men in general. I don't think that you guys look to Steve Harvey as like the man y'all.
No, Steve Harvey really wrote a book on dating to give women advice about how to land a man.
a perspective that we don't
But it's like through the
naturally
minds
have.
of you guys. So that's why I was asking, like, do you think
feel like he
that it was
represents
accurate?
I think it was accurate Okay, what Tony's saying is that he shouldn't be an expert on marriage. But Steve Harvey
Is not, right?
no, what he's an expert on is dealing with dog-ass dudes. That's really what the book is about, is telling you, okay, look, you want to avoid all this heartbreak that has resulted in so many R&B love songs. This is what you need to do.
Got it.
One, when you meet a dude, don't have sex with him for 90 days. And I'm going to keep it funky. Give him time to fuck up. That's really what it is.
Right.
Because I don't care who you is. You cannot keep it together for 90 days. Ain't nobody worth keeping it together for 90 days.
Yeah.
And so that's
Very
really what it was
interesting.
about. Now, I feel Tony when he's like, man, he shouldn't give. I understand his point of view, where it's like, oh, he's been divorced and then he's possibly allegedly married to his mistress. This is not the person we want to look to. I understand that. But that's not what Steve Harvey crafted himself to be when he wrote these books, in my opinion.
You know what though, and I like the fact that you pointed out, Demetrius, that he wrote it, and I know some men were upset about it. It's like, why are you putting all these women? You put them up on game.
Yeah.
This is what he. This is one of the things that Steve Harvey said. I don't know if this is in the book per se, but this is his. This is something that he said to basically warn women. And he's talking about the 90 days and that the women should wait. He said, but y'all keep changing the rules. And we, as men, are aware of the fact that you act desperate. He said, we're aware of the fact that you think there's a good shortage of men out there. And he's saying we play on that. He said, we created the term gold digger, so you won't ask us for nothing.
Haven't gone fully through with it.
Now, whether or not I agree with him, I like that he's that type of person. But you said something that we need to talk about.
Which is?
The desperation thing.
Yeah.
There's a switch that happens. Like, how old are you?
21.
Okay.
I'm a baby.
Oh, you are, babe.
See, right now,
He's about to faint.
she's 21. She got so many dudes that are probably coming at her constantly.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Look,
and
I'm
it's like, and you can choose. You can choose who you want to choose. You choose who you want to choose.
Yeah.
Wait till your ass hit 30.
I can't choose no more.
What happens at 30?
Wait.
I wouldn't know.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
Okay, I'm all
Robin
ears.
knows what I'm about to say.
Okay.
A switch occurs.
And who?
Oh, you mean the switch in the girls,
switch
and
in
suddenly
who?
they are more.
No, he's talking about a switch in the men.
The men have more of the power at that point.
Hell to the nizar.
They only have more of the power.
Thank
if
you, Courtney. Thank you, Courtney.
Because he's talking about, because y'all, the biological clocks are ticking, you still feel like you got to get married for those of the women that applies to. Like, and so men
You
know
sit next to him don't mean you always got to be on his side.
No, but I'm sitting across and I kind of agree though. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's rare.
I kind of agree. That's a blanket statement, but there are some facts to
That's
that. You know what I'm saying?
biological,
Like
man.
That's the desperation that men know exists.
But the thing is, we still have the power. What we do is we just turn it
Listen,
over.
there's always
You
power
have-
in the P. I'm just saying,
No,
listen.
we got the power.
Women are
but-
powerful, period.
You need
They're
to
always
listen
going to be, but
listen to
that's
Courtney.
good. That's good,
It's
Courtney.
only some power, because in the end, if you want marriage and children at 30, you really start thinking about you need to be finding somebody that you can settle down with, because the process of finding the person, being in a relationship, getting to marriage, then getting to the point of having kids, is some years usually. So you need that time.
There's two.
Here's the
It
funny
don't apply
thing.
to everybody. It don't even apply to me.
Do you what at what cost? Do you want it at the expense of reducing your standards?
Most women do.
See, that's why.
That's a problem.
I can name 3 people right now that I know settled because they were like, he's decent, like he got a job, like he's good, and now
that's
they're
why
married
Steve
and they have
Harvey
kids.
is trying to give us the advice, and basically what he's saying is, women, understand what your value is, understand the power that you have. Don't give up that. Don't fall for that.
Yeah.
And go into it with that respect that you have for yourself
Yes.
early on. Because then if you don't,
But is settling, like, is that falling for it, or is that you just making a decision that the life you want is to have a family, and if you find a person that meets at least most of the standards that you want, that's comfortable for you and you're okay with that? Because most people live in a place of complacency to begin with in all aspects of their lives. So
That's
why
true.
is that desperation or giving up?
So my view on it is this: I think women or girls, when we're younger, we are trained. Everything around us tells us, okay, you are doing all of this to get married, to settle down, to have a family. So that's embedded in us when we're kids. So women, But guys, on the other hand, are trained to go out there, hunt, get a good job. So maybe younger, they're trying to like go and get that or whatever. But when but that's why they're a commodity when it's like that 30 age, because they're going to get their careers. They're going to get their whatever. You see a lot of successful guys out there, and around that age, women are like, well, my clock is ticking, and I haven't gotten that husband, the kids, and all of that yet. So what's wrong with me? And then they begin to settle.
I've never had that.
Well, you ain't never had no problem finding no husband. See, you gotta understand.
That defeats the point that you made.
I don't told you this before. You're not the regular chick. See, this is the thing. See, I don't told you that before. Yeah, calm your ego down. Calm the ego down. Calm the ego down.
When you
why
had the
am I not the
baby?
regular chick?
Because when you got married and you had your baby, were you 30 yet?
No, I had
exactly.
Trey. I was 20,
So
25.
that issue never even existed in your universe
that's a good
because
point.
you had already had your child.
That's not a good point.
It's
tell you why.
But that's the point of this. Like,
No,
if you are
ma'am,
now
but-
32 and you've never been married, you've never had children, you want that in your life, there is a different
What about,
mindset.
I wasn't married at 32. I wasn't, and I wanted more children. I was divorced from my son's father. I wanted more children.
It's different for wanting more, for wanting just to get one.
there.
Like, because in the end,
it's like being a football player.
But-
You got to get that championship under your belt. That first ring. Once you get that, it's like, okay.
I'm
like,
saying
you
I
want
don't-
your family still, but you've at least started one and had it at some point. There's people that are like, I ain't never
I
had nothing.
still wanted family, though. I wanted that because, like Robin said, and I want to hear from Ray Lynn because Ray Lynn is a completely different generation.
Okay, let me hear this.
She's a millennial. Like, no,
Yeah.
we're raised with that. To have, to have a family, to have children, to have that
Right.
marriage, to have that's embedded in us. Now, with you, I don't know. Like, what is your mother teaching you?
Well, for me, I feel like guys at my age are not ready for that. So, like, when you guys saying that at 30, it's like
Yes.
guys are the commodity. Like, they're not really ready to settle down.
Are you
and do
ready
all that.
at 21?
No, how I take love or relationships, I just kind of just.
Yeah.
I'm
with it,
I'm just kind of rolling with it. If it happens, I'm not the type, because, like, I know some of my girlfriends are like, I don't want a relationship right now. And I'm not the never say never type of person.
Right.
Like, if it happens, but I'm not going to be out there looking for it.
And I can understand that at 21, you don't even, you just living your life. It's
living.
not,
But even guys that are like
On the
even mid,
radar.
like 25, they's not ready to really give it up like that either. So I feel like, and in their mind, it's like, I'm still young, so I'm gonna wait till I get to close to 30. Then I'm gonna start trying to settle down. You know what I mean?
And that's when they have all the power.
Who?
The guys.
Y'all don't have the power.
They have all
Ladies,
the power in the world. Now,
America.
But wait.
only have as much power as you allow.
Here is my advice,
is if
though.
you give it up.
Yeah.
This is my advice, though, because Sheree, like Courtney pointed out, you didn't necessarily have to go through this because you had already been married. Because see, this is the thing: when you're a woman and you have
want
not
to
been
do it
married,
again.
wait,
Doesn't
just
matter.
listen, and you want to be married, you haven't been married, you're like 34, you start to question what's wrong with me. Why hasn't anyone said to me, wait? Why hasn't anyone said to me, I want to spend the rest of my life with you? And you start to wonder, what am I doing wrong?
You can still have that. You can still have that internal conversation, having been divorced.
It's different, though.
No, and
it's
it could be even worse.
You're not
because
gonna get
your
this.
marriage
You're not
didn't
gonna
make
get
it. Like,
this.
oh my God,
You're not gonna get this, so I can see that. We can move on.
It
You're not gonna
sounds
get this.
it sounds like a case of idealism versus reality. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I'm gonna tell my girls, I have 10-year-old twins, right? What I'm gonna tell them is, even when you're 21 or when you're 25 or 30 or whatever, do not set, like, listen, don't even, that's not they think, that generation thinks that getting a man is it.
Yeah.
That is not it. You get what I'm saying?
generation? You're not talking about the babies.
No, I'm not talking about the babies. I'm talking
You're talking
about
about like.
well,
Ray
they're
Lynn's-
learning from our generation,
That's right.
and so it is a matter of being passed down. It's
Yeah.
trickled down. But I want to erase that. I want all these millennials to know, like, that's not really what it's about. Like, live, go, like,
My
get your
girlfriends,
own,
they're getting into relationships, and they're like, but I kind of still want to do that. I'm like, do it. Don't let
That's the
you
same
being in
story
a
from Mr. Get It at
relationship
Time.
trying
Yeah,
to
man.
scare you from living your life. Then
Yeah.
you'll be in the back reminiscing, like, dang, I wish I would have done this, this, and that, because you're so focused on the idea of having a boyfriend.
Even though what we're teaching our children at this point is different, and we're trying to empower the women, you know, our females a little more, and tell them to go. You have dreams, you have goals. Just don't make like the end. Just don't make everything about finding a man and getting married. But we're wired for love.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just even though that's how we're wired.
Yeah.
I just have a different perspective on that. I have a different perspective.
Which is what?
My perspective is don't get married so soon. Get married. Let that be in your dreams, but don't get married so soon. You can have fun.
Like young, like
I feel like you should be in your well into your 30s. You could even be in your 40s when you actually get married. I think that there's so much more life to live before then. So how are you going to have
babies? Because I know that you raise them.
Yeah.
You know, you're Christian. You raise them. Would you be okay for them to have babies and not be married?
Is that I would prefer not. I would prefer for them to be in a solid relationship or a solid situation. It doesn't necessarily have to be marriage. But see, I'm cut from a different kind of cloth, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't necessarily believe that, because far too many people see I don't have any regrets, I'll say that, but when I got married, I was 26 and I was in church. Church makes the youth, they put that on them. Listen, go date to get married. Don't date to date to get married. And so far too many people are getting married when they don't even know what time it is. They don't know what they want to do.
To have sex.
To have sex.
It's better to marry than burn with desire. This is what I say. Don't get married to have sex.
Don't get married to have
it's
sex.
All under the blood.
And it's not the epitome. Like, they always think the grass is greener on the other side.
You're just having coitus wherever.
What?
Because she said that's why I'm not married. She's like, because she's just you.
I think that's dope.
I would add
that's dope.
If you do find yourself in the position, American women, where you are 34 or something like that.
European women. Can you speak to them too?
Women, period. If you're like 34, 5, whatever, and you have not been married and you think like, man, what am I doing wrong? I think you should find someone that has, gotten married, like Sheree, and see what it is that they do, and copy their patterns in order to land a husband. Stay in shape and
but I can
dress nice and
I don't have no problem landing them. I just have a hard time keeping them.
No, you don't, because
or wanting to keep them.
There you go.
Yeah.
See, that's the difference.
So that means a hard time not throwing them away.
That is so true.
That's a little bit different.
You know, been married at 25, had her baby, got married. I don't want to be married again.
I wanted another piece of cake.
That's the story of my life.
You see how they made me out to be? A fairy does. You make me out to be just fairy does.
Just saying.
That's interesting. That is really interesting. But still, I tell women that, my advice would be just live. Like Robin said.
That's it.
Right? Live your life.
Yep.
I think
live
most
your
women
life.
are doing that.
And don't
now.
listen to Demetrius.
Yes.
Don't do that.
I think a lot of women.
Do not take this Los Angeles philosophy and apply it to your life.
True. I'm glad you said that though, because Los Angeles environment is very different than other places in the world, in the country, and everywhere.
It really is.
So where we're like, yes, girl, live. Have the best. Sometimes living, if you are in the middle of freaking Kansas or somewhere, is really having a family and being with other families and doing that.
So because we have so many more options out here.
Yeah.
And then there are some people that are at 24, 25, they want to get married.
They do. They think. Well, you know what? They think they want to get married. This is what I've come to learn. People think that they want to get married, and once they're in it, there are so many unhappy married people right now, and that is word. Like, people really are unhappy.
I just feel like you have to go into it really knowing, like, being truthful to yourself. Like, completely honest. Because I know I have people who are young mothers, and I'm like, you wasn't ready to be a mama. Like, you're still wanting to, like, let's go to the club. I'm like, who will watch the baby? Like, you're not, you know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't want to be, but I have other people from my high school who, like, straight out of high school have babies, and that's all their focus is, just being a mom and doing that. So I feel go into it truthful of what you really want to do.
Y'all can't take the baby to the club?
Don't take the baby to the club.
They got little like club. Don't they got little family now?
They should have babysitting at the club.
That's terrible.
They should have babysitting at the club.
Babysitting at the club.
Like a baby in that back room.
Like a coat check, a baby check.
It's just all about honesty though, because sometimes I go into relationships and I'm like, there's something that's a little bit of doubt that I try to just sweep it under the rug, and then later on I'm like, dang it, I should have been honest and just got quick.
Is that us making excuses for men that we always do?
Yeah.
Because then
We always do that. We always see the signs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you then
We
think
sure
to
do.
yourself, like, is it me? Am I too shallow? Or am I asking for too much?
Isn't that something? And that's when you ask that question, am I asking for too much? I think that is the gateway to lowering your standards.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I think women definitely do that where they it's like when I talk to like female friends, I'm like, you can't see what I see in this dude or whatever. And they're like, no, da 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 da. And they'll go on and on. But I always say when a red flag goes up, that person needs to pull it down. You don't need to pull it down for them.
Yes.
They need to say something that says, okay, let's lower this red flag. And a lot of times women don't do that. You all will come up with all types of excuses.
Yes.
Well, yeah. Go
And
ahead.
some of that I think is because we're nurturers by nature. So
Yeah.
we feel bad, like, oh, he just needs a hug. It just, if he has somebody to just love on him and support him and be in his corner, he gonna be all right.
And the media makes it seem like us as women ask for so much, like, oh, your standards are too high. But then sometimes your standards aren't that high. It's just that everybody always says women have high standards. And it's like,
That's men
You know
making
what I
that up
mean?
too.
right?
Unless you
There
talk
are
about
some
children.
There are some women, because I
got some
remember
super
when
high
I used to watch that Chili show when Chili was dating, like, beautiful woman, everything,
Gorgeous.
but some things on her list, I'm like, girl, he can't have seafood. Like, that.
right.
Like, he can't eat seafood. He
Yeah.
can't have. I'm like, those are things that could
Yeah,
be, you know, you could
yeah.
tolerate that.
That's-
but,
that's-
you know
that's
what
a
I mean?
lot.
That's when it
That's a
gets a little crazy.
That's
But-
when you just have to be rational about your list. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
okay, he's integrous. You know, he's a great provider. He's a
Yes.
protector. He's
Right.
secure. He's solid. He loves children. Okay, but he doesn't like seafood. You know, you can't throw the baby out with
Right.
the bathwater.
Right, I feel you on that.
True.
I feel you on
Yes,
that.
you can't do that. So
Yeah.
what you want to? You awfully quiet.
I'm not quiet. What are you saying? I just think it's interesting, like standards and what asking too much, when we're asking too much. Like, I mean, it's arbitrary because
Do you
everybody's
have
got
standards?
Well, of course. I mean, I guess like, standards, guidelines. I don't really know. Like, you know, you meet people, you want a good person. It's pretty generic for me. Like, it's not. I don't have a list. Like, he should have a 26-inch waist, and he should.
Right.
Do that. Like, I'm
Well,
not that
he doesn't
person.
have a 26 inch.
Well, I mean, that's me. Then. I'm not that small. But some people like
You
really.
date Cat Williams.
I mean, some people really like that though. Like, they
But, so
want a
wait.
wavy guy.
So
It's not
basically,
me.
you're like a blank slate when you meet a guy. It's
No,
like you don't. Do you have
nobody
a
is.
standard? Like at least like one thing.
I would say that like it's pretty blank. Other than like, I need you to be like an honest, like working human being. But like, I want to know people, and like my standards shift, especially when it comes to physicality and stuff like that. Like, you would be surprised if you
You're
saw
more of
something.
a
Really?
core values type of
Okay.
person.
Yeah, like I just want to know if you're a good person. Like, I'm open to chat with you about
That
whatever.
is so general, though.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah,
very
you're a good
general.
What is a deal breaker for you?
Gay? Like, I don't know.
But you said 2 weeks ago.
You already said that was not a deal breaker.
No job.
Gay and bisexual are two different things.
Oh,
What if
okay.
he's gay? He don't want you.
Exactly. So
No,
there we
but
go.
bisexual, she's fine with that.
No.
I sound fine. I said I'm open to date. Because your
Stop.
history is your history, just like my history is my history. Like, what we doing now is what we doing now.
Do you have a right? We talked about this after the cameras went off last week. Do you have a right to know his number?
No, we
I
talked
don't have
about
a
that on
right,
camera.
but I want to know it.
No,
Did we
but you
talk
want to know
about
what we
it?
talked about?
Oh, we can get
Off
your
camera,
number.
we
Yeah.
talked about some things. I'm not going to say
They couldn't
who,
get out.
but we talked about intimacy versus
Oh,
carnal coitus.
yes.
Someone
Someone
said
does not like carnal coitus.
you cannot turn them around.
There was
the
no
first time
carnal
during
coitus in the first interaction for somebody.
Yeah, they need to look at you.
Yes.
And when
in the
here's the
eyes.
thing.
I cannot.
We talked about waiting
show
when
about
a
to be
woman,
over.
and I think do we all agree? And maybe I don't think maybe Demetrius doesn't agree. When you're dating ladies, don't give up the cookie right away. Dang.
Like, what's right
But I
away?
don't agree
Like
with
the first
that.
night.
What if you were?
What is the first night?
What if y'all
considered?
really vibing,
Because
though?
what if y'all
Wait,
been
you supposed to be
talking-
no.
Okay, that's what you're not
We said we're gonna pull this thing. We're looking at it from the perspective of you're trying to find love. You ain't just out there, just getting off or whatever. You ain't keeping it funky.
No.
You're really looking for love, and you wanna, you wanna do life with somebody.
But what classifies as first night? Because if you've been like hanging out or like talking to somebody for a minute and y'all haven't actually gone out, you finally go on a date, like the vibe
That's
is
the
there.
first night.
That's still the first night?
Yeah.
Dang, I'm a hoe.
I don't know. I have a hope.
Use
That's
a hoe.
funny. Oh my gosh.
What if it's somebody
Shame the
you've
devil.
been friends with for whatever, and you guys finally do an official date, and you sleep together that night? Like, is that the
Courtney,
first night?
you know what I'm talking
You ready?
about.
You know that.
You're trying to make yourself not a hoe.
Courtney, you ready?
And you're
There's some
all
holes in this house. There's some holes in this house.
Oh my I don't think that's whole qualities though. I don't think it's a whole
don't
quality.
either. I'm joking
I
when
don't.
I say
Here's-
that.
I think
but
you
Sheree's
did
so
you give
surprised.
Robbie something the first night?
But see, Robbie and I were friends, and we cracked it off immediately. We weren't married. No, but see, here's my thing. She's so.
Thank you.
So here's the thing. So I think
No,
this
we're
is
not
so
gonna wrap. We
unfair.
got too much more to talk about.
This
Tell us
is
right
so
now.
have to do part
unfair.
3.
I think it's so unfair for society to label
you.
that standard like that you're a hoe. It's putting this label on somebody who could just be vibing. Because if you know someone,
Demetrius did that.
okay, so here's let me just say, let me make this statement.
She was a
I
hoe.
was joking.
Because I wasn't a part of y'all conversation last week, but I will say this. I feel like if two people meet, right, they are super duper vibe. Like,
Yeah,
I'm a viber. I vibe with people. Listen, so
You telling your 10-year-old
Sheree's like,
twins that?
no, you didn't look in
I'm
the
a- I'm
eye.
a-
Twins that? Get it cracking? Hey, baby.
No,
you
I'm not gonna encourage them to
not
get it cracking, but I'm
advocating it, but it can
just hear what
happen.
I'm saying.
I'm
Because
hearing
my twins are actually very, very well rounded, and you know that, Sheree.
Yeah,
They're very
they're
well
little sassy
rounded.
little
But I'm
spunky
gonna teach
girls.
them how to do life. And what life is like. Listen, if you vibe, don't let society tell you you're
Thank
a hoe if
you.
you have sex with somebody.
Thank
If you're
I believe that.
if you're having a really good time and you feel like
Thank
y'all had the
you.
dopest date, y'all just vibe and it was
why I
wonderful.
just
Like
vibe.
that's not saying that your relationship is gonna end and now he's gonna think you're a hoe because you gave it up.
Now, there's been one time where I had, what do you call that? When you do it on the first time?
A whole moment.
No.
When I stand.
It's a moment. Good one, Anthony. Good one.
I've had a moment before. I do not consider myself a hoe. But I'm saying you are teaching your daughter something. Speaking of mothers teaching their children things.
Let me say this though before you go.
Okay, go ahead.
I ain't got no problem if somebody want to have sex on the first night.
Of course, man.
I don't think no
don't.
man got a problem with nobody.
We know this.
And I'm not gonna think you a hoe.
But
Good. So let them know.
That's
Maybe.
Just putting a disclaimer out there. I'm
in
not gonna think
general,
you're a hoe.
I would say wait as long as you can, just to see, like, if you're really vibing. If you
Yeah.
really like who this person is. I don't know who you are. If we're on one date, I'm just saying I don't.
Right.
It
No, and
depends on your
that's fair.
purpose. Sometimes
That's fair.
you're just trying to. I think every woman should just have one dude that she just had sex with. I don't say it
We
this
don't have
before.
time for that.
Go ahead.
What
Go.
did your
The show
mama?
ought to
What
be
your mama
over.
teach you? You sent me a story earlier about Mr. Anderson.
My mama ain't taught me that. Okay, Anthony Anderson was on the
Conan O'Brien
show, and he told him a story about how his mom taught him how to perform
Eat the cookie.
cunning.
What?
Wait, how?
Wait,
His,
Spit the champagne out.
mama taught him how to eat the cookie, honey. Him and his frat brothers
With a picture.
and
What?
Their
some of the and
girlfriends.
the girlfriends. And Conan was like, how did you? Well, she had an extensive video collection. So the mama put on porn.
We need to take eat.
Wait,
Oh,
what porn did she have?
Yeah.
Showed you how to eat
Oh
right.
snap! That's so different. Okay.
Put on porn to teach them how to.
And told the
Because the daddy
ladies
couldn't.
what to do when they were being
Because the daddy couldn't
eaten.
Wow,
eat.
this is.
When he couldn't eat properly.
Yeah.
Pie.
So I guess that
The
became
daddy
her,
couldn't eat
her,
pie
her passion,
properly.
if that makes sense.
What?
And she said, I'm not going to send my boys in the world not knowing how to eat pie.
Okay. Oh, Mama Anderson. Mama Anderson. Okay.
Oh snap! Well, they seem real cool. So she seemed like she that kind of mama.
Now, weigh in on that. You gonna teach your girls how
I will
to
not teach my girls
how to work that shaft?
Well, listen, I'll say
fell off
I'm
my
not
chair.
gonna teach them how to work it. However, see, no, but that's weird. See, the mom and the son, that's weird. But mom to daughter, I want to be open enough with my kids, like with my daughters, not to really show you like what's up, but like
and ask questions.
yes, about that. I do want
Yeah.
that.
I'm like that with
Even
my
that.
mom. Me and my mom are like super open to the
That's
point where
dope.
it's like, okay, you don't need to know too much.
So
You're
with your
trying to get to
mom,
know.
so would you be fine if your mom gave you
No,
advice
she
about that?
no. Don't teach me.
Yeah.
You know?
Some things should be self-explored.
Yes,
Boom.
yeah.
Some
I agree.
walls got to be hit
Yeah.
on your own.
I think it would be fine. If I do think it would be fine for a guy. I would feel more comfortable with my dad telling me that. I do
Right.
remember
Yeah.
my mom got very upset with my dad when he told me how to use. He taught me how to use a condom when I was 7. She
Now,
did not like
that's
that.
a little young. That's a little young.
Well, I had no babies yet, so.
To me, that's responsible
Yeah.
parenting. Because you know,
Yeah.
I taught Trey. I was like, you know, we're gonna do it God's way. I taught him God's way. He's gonna do it his way.
Right.
But if you decide to do this, then this is what you need to do. You have to make room for people to make their choices
Yeah.
and stuff.
It would feel weird to
Yeah.
have my mom do that, but if that's
Yeah.
their relationship, you know.
But you talking about like techniques of
No,
pleasure,
no,
like that's like
don't
stuff
teach
that
me
you,
that.
you need
Really.
to
That's
Put on the
work
video. Now, if I
through.
was one of the parents of the other,
but
one
they
of the
were
other
of college
girls,
age,
I don't
Reed.
give a damn.
adults.
Miss Anderson, I'd have been all up in your doorway,
Oh my
all up in it.
She should just close the door on your
She
ass.
could never teach
Is
Trey.
Anthony, is he single? Was
No,
he going
no,
through a
No, he's
divorce?
back with his wife.
They got
Oh.
back together.
Well, if y'all don't, if it don't work
Why?
out.
Were you interested?
She's like, wait a second
That
now.
is
You know how
so
to do
funny.
what?
You want to see what he learned?
Cheers.
Any of it, nowhere
Can you
to
show
make
me
out. No.
what your education has taught you?
We gotta wrap it up. Demetrius, you gotta do our Halo Award.
Oh,
Quickly.
I got time to do it? Okay,
Yeah,
look.
we were taking the time.
Quickly, this Halo Award goes to both Marketplace with Kai Rizdal and NPR because they've been honoring inventors. And they chose who have basically changed entire industries. And this, maybe a few days ago, they decided to honor Thomas Jennings, who was the first black person to receive a patent, and he revolutionized dry cleaning. And I thought that was so great. But it happened in 1821 when it was difficult for a black person to get a patent because people didn't believe that we had the capacity to create anything that would deserve a patent or to appreciate a patent. And most slaves, their inventions went to their masters. So this is a very great thing, and it carried on to his daughter, who was called the first Rosa Parks by Reverend Calvin Butts in AME Church in New York, because she was kicked off a trolley because she was black, and her father got an attorney sued, and they actually won.
Wow.
So, shouts out to Thomas Jennings.
Okay, in
Dry
closing,
scouring.
Courtney, what you got to? What are your final takeaways?
I always have to go first, and I'm never ready. My final takeaways are that, like, I'm not going to be teaching my children how to give cunnilingus or fellatio. They can find that out on their own. But they can ask me about their body parts.
That's cute, Courtney. Your clock is ticking, so you better hurry up.
I mean, I can adopt. Like, I'm not one of them people that's like, yo, it's gotta come out of my stuff. Like, if it comes, it comes, you know?
Love it.
That's how I feel
Love
about
it. Demetrius, what you got to say?
Like I said before, ladies, if you're in that 30 age bracket, you got to get out there. You got to compete. I mean, you got to get in shape.
Like survival of the
You need to get your credit right.
Terrible advice.
Get your clothes, get your wardrobe up, and get out there and get that man that you want. Find a mentor who's been married or who's got multiple
Find a
divorces under her
mentor.
belt. Listen to what she got to say and get your man. Or
sounds-
woman.
Oh God, Braylon, what you got to
That
say?
sounded like picking up another career. I gotta get the wardrobe, I gotta get a mentor. I guess my takeaway, I'm just living my life. You know,
Yeah.
live your life.
Like it's going.
Live your
Don't
life.
let society tell you a hoe.
I'm not saying he's society.
Don't let
said she was a
Demetrius.
hoe.
It was
Look,
a
you-
joke. Have your homement. If you want to have a homement, go on
love
and do
it.
it.
Have it. Have it with
You
me.
know,
Have your
just
whole
live your
man with
life
me.
and be truthful to yourself.
Yes.
That's
I love
important.
that.
Yeah,
So.
I like that. I'm gonna piggyback off of
Yeah.
that. I mean, really, just do you, live life, have a great time,
Exactly.
and the grass is not always greener on the other side. So where you are in your current situation is where you're supposed to be. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Well, my takeaway is I'm going to close with Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey talked about the 3 P's. The 3 P's: profess, provide, and protect. And these are the 3 things that we should expect and look for in a man. And if I have the 3 P's, I'll add the 4th P.
Oh.
I'm gonna add the pie.
Patience?
Oh, the
Pie! I'm gonna give you some pie. The pie. The pie.
Figure out what is he
That's
saying.
Hey.
Sheree sound like way too much work. I ain't got time for all that.
And the thing is, you can't. He's got a good message. I think he's got a good message. I think he has a lot of wisdom. I think, I don't think he should be disqualified because he's been married several times before. I think that makes him more qualified, as a matter of fact, to give us that advice. So I'm grateful for people like him who have made a change in their life and decided to live a more honorable life, a more exemplary life. So I'm grateful for
As long as
that.
he don't come off too preachy, and for us
he
to
never
defend
comes off
him,
preachy.
you know how I feel about him after
Yeah.
this Trump thing. So for me to say like, "Hey, Steve didn't do this and that," and I don't agree with the message, I'm just being honest.
right.
If Courtney
Regardless.
Stewart came out with a book on how to have a business, I'm still gonna read it even though she went to jail. Like she still got the keys or the information.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's a good point.
That's a great point.
So where can they find you, Rick?
And they can find you guys. I'm Sheree Fletcher across all media platforms. Get with your girl.
And you can reach me at Robin Ayers on all my social media platforms.
And again, it's Raylan T, and you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Raylan Taryn.
Cool. I'm not taking followers this week, but you can follow Sheree's YouTube channel /Sheree Fletcher.
Thank you, Demetrius.
I'm so done. I'm everywhere at Stewart Starvin.
Thank y'all.
You just can't be open
For
taking
joining
followers
in.
all the time. No, it's a
That's
window
our
for
show,
me.
and we'll see you next week. Same
Peace.
time, same channel.
Yeah, cue that
Peace.
music. Play it.
Bye.
Roll it
Is
out.
that the same?
I
Is
got
that
shit to
what
do.
From executives Keven Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me @KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in. The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.